Hi guys, Vaping Newbie here. Sorry, itchy on the nose there. If you've seen any of my videos, they're tailored towards and only for really newbies like myself. I'm hoping to answer some questions that you may have had that I've had answered to me, so I'm going to pass that on. What I'm dealing with today is a progression, and the reason for that is the same question that I asked a little bit of time ago, maybe 2.5 months ago, and hopefully tap on some of that. So without further ado, uh, vaping newbies like myself always have water on hand. Nothing better than that. You got to have that. You got to stay hydrated. Okay. So what we're going to look at first is we're going to look at how I started, and this is similar to many people the way they started. And I started with sorry, this is a new camera for me. I started with an Ego style battery, and this one is called a spinner. It's a variable voltage, and this is a 600 or milliamp hour battery, and it would last me a few hours, and it worked quite well. I had it for a couple of weeks, and then I wrote the one question that most vapors, when they're new, asks. They'll go onto forums. They'll go, somewhere to ask, "What do I do next?" And invariably, that answer seems to be the iTaste MVP2. And this is the iTaste MVP2. This is the black model. And this is a self-contained battery. It comes as a kit. You get a charger, which it's a USB charger. It can also obviously be put into an adjustment to go into the wall. And I can't think of the term. I'm sorry. That you can charge it in the wall. It will charge a bit quicker that way. It is variable voltage, variable wattage. It's got an LCD screen. It has a puff canner, which I'm not sure, but I used it a couple of times just to see how I would do with it, and it actually works quite well. Um, it One of the fun things about it, and like I said, it comes in a kit. It comes with a little. Mine came with an iClear 16. I didn't like it, so I never used it. And I'm not here to do reviews. I'm just here to tell you what I got and my progression is. So, but I can tell you that this is a very good little unit. It did improve the taste immediately. There is a difference from that Ego battery. Excuse me. And one of the fun things about this is, a you can use it while it's charging. I would suggest while it's charging the USB. I don't know if you want to be sucking on this while it's plugged into the wall, but while it's on the USB, certainly you can use it, and that's a plus. And also, it comes with this funky little plug. And what this has is different connectors that in the bottom here you can actually charge cell phones and things of that nature. I use it to charge my iPhone 4, but it's my understanding that it doesn't work on an iPhone 5. So just to let you know, but it can be done. I've used it for that purpose. So that's a fun little thing. It's a complete package, and it's a natural next step, in my opinion. The next one that I bought is again, it's an Anoken product. Now, I don't work for Anoken or have any ties to Anoken. I just like their products. And this is the Anoken SVD. It's again variable voltage and wattage. It's got that little LCD screen right there. This is a telescoping mod, so you can use three different sizes of batteries. You can use an 18350, an 18500, and an 18650 by just simply screwing this, and this will elongate and make it to, if you like, the larger batteries. I'm using this in the 18350 configuration, and I use it at work. I probably change the batteries 4 times, so I do carry a little kit with me with batteries and whatnot in it. The next one I bought is ironically, another Anoken product. And the reason I bought this, and you see that it does have on it an LCD screen, it's variable voltage and wattage. And the reason why I bought this has an extender tube that comes with it for larger toppers. But I bought it. It's a heavy box mod. You can put in here easily a 19, I think a 19 millimeter or less clear miser in here, and I can put this in my golf bag. It's rugged, it's tough. And again, this only takes one size battery, unlike the SVD. This only takes the 18650 battery. But I figure I can put this in my golf bag, and I feel a bit safer with it. The next one, and the last Anoken one that I bought, was the 134. And the reason why I bought this was, to be perfectly frank, I just thought it looked really cool. Okay, this is the black model. It comes in silver, and there's also a mini. But I didn't like the mini since I had the SVD for a small one. I wanted something big, and this thing is big. You can't really take this out and about unless you put this in your pocket to, I don't know, impress somebody. and it's all black. The only downside to this is that the numbers on this are also black. And at my age, we want things to stand out that don't always stand out. But I was able to find out from online, somebody said they took a white crayon and they just colored the numbers. And I don't know if you can pick that up, but they are quite a bit easier to read. And I guess it depends on lighting, but I can read them now quite easily. And it works well. And again, for around the house, and it only takes the 18650 battery, which reminds me that though the MVP, as I mentioned, is a battery in itself, so that you don't have to buy anything to power that, because it is the power. The other modes that I showed you, and including this one, which is really cool, this is actually not an Inokin product. This is by Camry. It's the K1000 pipe. Very nice. It works with an 18350 battery. There is no variable voltage, variable wattage, no LCD screen. You pop in the battery. That's the fire button. I got a Kangaroo Aero tank on it, and it works really well. But the common denominator between the last four mods that you saw was that when you're buying them, whether you buy them online or whether you buy them in a brick and mortar shop, you have to buy batteries and a charger. You don't want to end up like Christmas time where you order it, it comes in, you're happy, and then realize you can't power this thing up. And you can't walk into Radio Shack and buy batteries for this. I use AWIMRs and EFS batteries. I have a confidence in them. So that's what I have going. I always have some of my chargers, and I have a Nitecore i4 charger, which is a 4-slot charger. And I also have a Trustfire charger, it's a 2-slot charger. Though a lot of people will tell you don't buy anything with the word fire in it. Who knew? Um, so I do have those chargers. So just keep that in mind that you want to make sure if you're ordering it, you're buying batteries, you're buying a charger, and if you're thinking of using that 18350, don't buy one battery. You'll be sorely disappointed. Okay, you'll want to buy a few batteries. They're not overly expensive. Depends on where and what type you get. So there you go. These are my mods, and I know that there are others out there. The SID, the VAMO. There's tons of these mods out there. I'm just showing you what I bought because of my progression as a new vapor, and it really works. This whole sort of family of Inokin really works for me. The next thing that I talk about would be what's on top. It's all nice to have these cute and shiny mods, but all they do is power what's going to give you the flavor, and that is the tank. Now I know again there's a lot of tanks out there, but I'm only going to be able to show you what I have. Nobody sends me free stuff to try. Although I've asked vendors, no dice. So I can only tell you what I bought. And I'm going to start with this cute little fella here. This is just an EVOD tank. And I got this at Can Vapes for like $5. It holds about a milliliter and a half of juice. It's polycarbonate. So keep that in mind. And this is important. Do not put citrus flavors in a polycarbonate tank. You should be buying glass. Good news, folks. EVOD makes a glass tank. It's about $7. So for $2 more, you're getting a bit of an upgrade. But let's give this a go. That's good flavor, some good vape for a little tank, and it comes in a multitude of colors so that, and you're going to see what I mean by this in a moment, but I don't know if you can pick up the colors, but I got a green one, I got a black one, a red one, and what I do is I put in all my different flavors, and I actually will write it down saying, oh, the green one has such and such, so I know. So I can swap out my flavors quite easily when I'm in the mood for something different. And I do not have any citrus at the moment, unfortunately. So that is the tank number one. Tank number two, the Kangaroo Aero tank. And this was my first big tank that I bought. The thing I like about this is it has an adjustable airflow. It's a little ring here on the bottom, and it'll open up or close. There are holes drilled around the bottom. So it'll open up or close the holes as you like the draw. So if you like a tight draw where you really have to pull to get the vapor, you can tighten it up. If you like a loose drop, you just drop that, and you got a little bit of in between. Excuse me. So let's give this a go. very nice taste, pretty good vape, and that's on my MVP. That works quite well, little beauty cap. And I should mention that I could use the EVODs on the MVP as well, but for this purpose, I'm using the EVOD on the Eagle battery. This is what many people say is the best clear miser available. It's the Aspire Nautilus. It's big. It holds 5 liters of juice. It's also airflow adjustable, so it has this, and they did it right. It has this ring. Let me just get this again. It's not my camera, so you pardon me. But there's this ring here in the bottom that rotates 360 degrees, and then it has pre-drilled holes, 4 pre-drilled holes around the base. So you can choose your draw again the way you like it. So let me just take a look at which one I have, and I think I'm going to switch that up to that, and we'll give this one a go. Pretty good again. Um, all these tanks that I've shown you, they have easy heads or coils that you can switch out. You just unscrew them, throw them out, put another one in, liquor it up a bit with some juice, and you're good. Um, the tank, I should have said that the EVOD tank, you cannot change the drip tip, the mouthpiece on it. With these, you can. They easily come out. And the beauty of these two, both the Aspire and the Kangers, you can take them completely apart for cleaning. You can wash out the EVOD, and I'm sure others as well, and there are others on the market. Funny enough, though, of the tanks between the Aero tank and the Aspire, I'm in the minority. I like the Aero tank better than the Aspire. And I think the reason for that is I went through a lot of coils with this, and I don't vape at a high wattage, so I don't quite get it. So let's just sum up right now. You have your battery pack set up. You have your tank, whichever ones you decide to get, and use YouTube because there are a lot of good reviews there. If you go on Facebook, you can go on to pages, Facebook pages, and ask questions. Those guys will answer it. They're really darn good at it. The next thing is juice. Here in Montreal, we don't have a lot of brick and mortar shops. The one that I went to, I was buying juice off of. I started with a tobacco blend, and after about 5 days, I didn't like the taste anymore. So I went back there and I got myself watermelon and banana. Pardon me. And I really didn't like it. I found it kind of chemical tasting. So I didn't know what to do. I went online, went on YouTube, started reading about it, and heard about some places. And I'm going to put their names down below. But this is where I started buying my juice from. And I know that there are a lot of other vendors in Canada that I'm not representing, and I'm sorry. If I didn't try your juice, I apologize. But these are just vendors that I've dealt with. And I got enough juice, in fact, that I had to go to Walmart and get this. This is a tackle box, and it's about 15 bucks, and it really helped organize all my juices. I can open it because you wouldn't see anything, and if I tipped it over so that you could, it'd be a hell lot heavy and probably spill over everywhere. But it just shows you how much juice I carry. And when I say carry, I mean it's here. It's organized. But the idea behind that was I wanted to try a whole bunch of juices from a few different companies and find the ones that I like, and hopefully weed that down. And maybe, just maybe, find the one juice that's just phenomenal. And I think I did. I'm going to be reviewing it in a minute. So that was my juice conquest. And again, it was just a matter of going online, finding out what I wanted, and buying it and trying it. Some were hits, some were misses. An interesting fact on all the juice vendors, I'm going to single out Maple Leaf Vapes because you can actually increase the amount of flavor being put in for a buck or two. So just let you know about that. But the other places, and I'm going to name all my vendors at the end, and some people that have been helpful at the end. Um, because they deserve it. So now I just want to go in again my progression in an area that I said I would never get into. When I started doing this, I thought I'm just going to use this little battery, slap a tank on it, and I'm good. Um, Suddenly I started doing rebuilding. And I did it because of one person on Facebook, and he's not a vendor by any stretch of imagination. I met him on Facebook, and he goes by the name of Raccoon on Facebook. And he sort of was posting pictures, and it got me interested. And so I started looking into it, and I thought, And then some people were talking about this and that. So I thought, well, you know what the heck? And I ordered online, I ordered a K-Fun clone called the Rocket, and built a coil. My first coil, I swore like a sailor, but I built the coil, got it going, and I thought I was in heaven. The flavor was better. The vape was much better. And all of a sudden, it started leaking like an old man drinking water. Um, I didn't know what to do. So I contacted the company that sold it to me, and the guy who was working on Christmas weekend, and I'll say it's canvape.com. This guy's name is Frosty. He was working on Easter weekend, and he actually arranged to send me a replacement, and then I would just have to send him back the other one. So I got the replacement in, again, made a coil, got it going, and not too long after that leak started again. So I just shelved it and went on Facebook, and I was talking about it. I said, I'm gonna stay with my Aero tanks and my Nautilus and my EVODs, and I'm giving up on the building. And a guy by the name of Jason on Facebook wrote me and said, "Gord, don't stop. You just have to hit the right product." So he said, "Here, try to buy this." And he owns GJ Vapes, and I thought, a salesman. But he seemed honorable. A lot of people, the way they spoke about him on Facebook, really put him in high esteem. So I trusted him, and I bought a couple of things off him. Now, you may have heard terms like RDA and RBA. Well, RDA is a rebuildable dripping atomizer, and yes, folks, I actually bought one off Jason. This is a Trident clone by a company called Tobacco, and it's a very small tank. Yeah, it's only about $13. And the idea behind this is that you don't obviously load it with juice. It's just not big enough to do that. But you simply drip, as the saying is, juice in there. You build a coil, you put in your cotton or silica, and you prime it, you get it going, and then you put about 3 or 4 drops in there. You get it going. I don't know if you can hear that. Wow. What this does is it gives you a throat hit like I've never had. It hits right here. And it really has improved flavor. Okay. Now, there's not a lot of vapor. I don't know if it's something that I'm doing wrong. You have to inhale this or draw on this differently from an atomizer. But I'm still getting used to it. I've only had it a few days. So Jason got me to buy this, and he didn't steer me wrong. This was pretty darn good. The other thing Jason had me buy was this. This is again by Tobacco. It's a K-Fun Light. I'm sorry, a K-Fun clone. And Jason sent it to me and actually built me a coil. So all I had to do was wash it. And I heavily recommend you wash, you disassemble, you wash it, you dry burn the coil, which means no cotton or silicon in it. You just hit it, pulse it, dry it off. Then wait till it cools down. You add your cotton or in this case, I guess you have to use cotton. And what I did was I loaded up with juice, primed it, let it sit for a bit. Now that's butterscotch from canvapes.com in a tank from gjvapes.com. So it just shows you I try to spread out the wealth, right? Um, so on the Facebook pages that we're talking about, somebody came and they said, "Oh, they bought this new K-Fun clone at Canvapes," and I said, maybe I should get one too." So yeah, I did. Turned around and bought one, and this is it. This is this Fomesto K-Fun clone, and I built this today with a 1.3 ohm wick. I didn't coil. I didn't want to go too low because I'm just getting used to it. It's only my fourth build, and I'll show you this in a second. Um, but that's I do have another one coming in, and it's the brother to this one, which is all in black, and it's a pre-order from JG Vapes. It looks really sweet, and how do you think it's going to look on that, folks? It's going to look really good. So I'm looking forward. I hope that comes in soon. Let's get back to the can vape one. This is from Esto. Again, and both these tanks, by the way, as well as the dripper, have adjustable airflow. So that helps a lot again on how you prefer your draw. But I'm going to do something I don't like to do. I'm going to go right in the camera, but we'll give you an idea. Foggy. It has the K-Fun whistle. They all have the K-Fun whistle, but the taste, the flavor is there. Obviously, the vape is there. They make a very good product as well. So this is available at canvape.com. And again, folks, I don't get any of this free. I buy it. It comes out of my pocket. So nobody is sponsoring me per se. And that is my progression from a simple ego battery into, I guess, what you call advanced vaping machines or mods like the SVD that is variable voltage to rebuilding, and then again, even going from a basic tank to an aero tank and a Nautilus, and then into the rebuildables. It's been quite a ride. It becomes enough of a hobby that yes, I had to go back to Walmart and get another case for my rebuildable supplies. So it really took it to another level, and it made it enjoyable. Vaping could be a means to an end. So if all you want to do is use it to quit smoking, I give you a thumbs up. Hang in there. It's just a matter of hitting the right juices so that you won't fall back. If you want to make it a hobby, like I suddenly started doing, there are people that are in this a lot deeper than I am, and but that's what I do. I just want to touch on two things now. Mechanical mods, they scare me because I don't have enough knowledge about the safety of how a mechanical mod should work, and that's why I like the regulated mods. I guess the closest I can come to that is there's a new product out on the market called the 722. It's a big mama of a mod, but it's regulated. It hits like a train, and I'm hoping one day to actually have one because with the rebuildables, this thing will actually come into play because it goes from 7 watts to 22 watts, which makes it, I believe, the most powerful regulated mod on the market. Now, that's for now, and correct me if I'm wrong. So now I'm going to talk about one last thing, which is vapor tongue. A guy that I work with came in and said, Gord, I can't taste my juice anymore. Well, first of all, he only uses one flavor of juice, grape. Second of all, he really doesn't do anything to enhance his flavor. So I gave him the tips, and tips are as such from what I read, from what I learned. And it's number one, change your juices. Don't have just one juice. Have a few different flavors around and flip them back and forth. Number two, you can use saltines. That'll help clear off your taste buds. And I believe wine testing people use that as well. Number three, you can actually brush your tongue. And that'll help rejuvenate your taste buds on your tongue. And the last I heard, although I haven't personally tried it, is to use a menthol vape. And that'll help rejuvenate your taste buds. So that's how you would take care of the vapor tongue. I guess in closing, or before I close, I'm going to do that review I spoke about. And I mentioned I was looking for that one juice, and I think I found it. There's a company called Five Ponds, and it's out of California, and I was having trouble finding it here in Canada. But I know there was a place in Vancouver, and I couldn't remember the name. I'm on Facebook, and Raymond from ezigcan.com puts up an ad that he has 5 Pond now. So I contacted Raymond, and I'll tell you something. Raymond's service is impeccable, and he contacted me in a heartbeat. Now I know I'm working sales. I've worked in sales for the last 30 years. I understand how it works, but you want to keep your clients, so you have to give them a good product and good service. He did that, and here it is. This is 5 Ponds Gambit. I mean, look at the way this is packaged. It's in almost like a bottle of scotch. You got that little tube. It comes in a glass bottle with a dipper, or dripper, or however you want to call it. It's childproof cap, and it is plastic sealed, by the way, the cap, so you know it hasn't been tampered with. This is called Gambit. It's about $39.99 for a 30 milliliter bottle, so I'm only going to use it for special occasions. But let me tell you, folks, it's worth it. Okay, so I'm just going to take a hit. I got that in my K fund here. It's amazing. You can really taste the apple. I can taste the pastry. There's really good flavors happening. I was driving in the car with my daughter, and she said, it doesn't quite taste like apple, but close. And I said, does it taste like apple pie? And she said, yeah, that's it. Well, that's what Gambit is about. It's supposed to be an apple pie vape. If you read the descriptions on easycan.com and see they're written by 5 Ponds, it's like reading freaking poetry. It really is something. And Raymond will give you superior service. So I highly recommend Raymond. I highly recommend easycan.com, and sure as hell recommend 5 Ponds. It is a bit more, but we'll save that for a special occasion. I also have something called Fifth Rank. It's sitting in that big ass case of mine, and I'll break that up when this runs out. I know that right now Raymond is out of Gambit, but I believe he has more on order. So that is the one review that I'll do. Hats off, it's a great product. So, folks, I'm just going to finish off by saying I wanted to thank Jason at JG Vapes. I'd like to, and Jason is quite a mentor to me. Really helpful, and I've been a royal pain in the ass to him, but he's been really helpful to me. And I will be back. I'm looking forward to that Black K Fund, and I will be back for others. There's canvape.com with uh, somebody by the name of Frosty that works in the warehouse that gives really good service. So I want to say hi to Frosty. Lady Sue that organizes their Facebook page does a wonderful job answering questions of people coming on. And there are a lot of newbies there. So we try to support each other, help each other out. And we do not talk down to people. That's important because I might know a bit more than this person. I won't talk down to them. I'll try to help them out, and then somebody will do the same for me. And that's Lady organizes all that. And there's also Alice, I believe it's Alice Short, who works in the warehouse and is usually around to answer questions. A gentleman by the way, name of Wes McDonald, who was there. I don't think he works anymore, but Wes, we miss you, and you are a big help as well. I mentioned Raymond at ezcan.com. Raymond is a great help. I met him on the Canadian Vapers website, like I met Jason. There's a woman by the name of, I only know her by Oxida, that runs evaporated.com. I only know her by Oxida because I spoke to her on Whacked Out and then conversely won a contest with her. And I'm looking forward to that, but I know that she has a very good product with juice. And you can link her up through gjvapes.com if necessary. But again, they'll all be at the bottom. And I guess last but not least is my friend Shy, or person at Shy. His name is Shy at dashvapes.com, my first mentor, the person who would never steer me wrong. And when I need advice, he's there. And he even gave me advice on a product I didn't even buy from him. So it tells you what type of guy he is. So I just want to give a nod to him as well. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you found it helpful. I know if you're new, you may. If you've been around for a while, you probably fast forwarded or just gone on to another video. But I'd appreciate some information if you have it to add to it. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, but let's try to stay away from a thumbs down. And hopefully I'll be doing this again. So thank you very much, and happy vaping, happy, be healthy, and see you again. Take care, folks.